Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15-second stations. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, live from Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. Welcome to the Scott Pera Show. In the next hour, Scott Pera will break down the previous week and look ahead to what's next for the Owls on the hardwood. The Scott Pera Show is sponsored by IBEW Local Union 716, where passion plus skill locks arms with value. Now to lead things off along with the coach, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. We are back here at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. A great crowd in the house tonight here. Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, the home of the Scott Pera Show each and every week. The rest of the Mondays here, the regular season counting down. 3800 Southwest Freeway. Just take that Wesleyan exit. Really easy to get to us. As I said, a really good crowd still filing in here. On the show tonight, we have a couple of freshmen, big men. After we talk to the boss man himself, of course, Coach Pera coming up here in seconds. Freshman big man, hails from the state of Florida. Andrew Akuche joining us. You ready? No, not right now. No. We're going to have some fun, though. We're going to have some fun. And Iffy, big Iffy on the show tonight. Ifeanyi Ufo-Chukwu, freshman big man for the Owls as well. Great personality. Dynamic young player who'll be on. And then we have the traveling basketball talents of a new Owls video coordinator, Colin Neal, on the show here. Lost him in the blue and gray. There he is. Colin will come on. He got a great basketball past and a great basketball future in the coaching side ahead of him. We'll talk to him. And then Coach and I will preview the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the North Texas Mean Green. Owls up in the cozy hamlet of Ruston, Louisiana, coming up Thursday at 6 o'clock. That's on ESPN+. Rice 15-6 on the year, 6-4 inside league play. A little quick road trip up there to Ruston. Can catch that also on the audio side. Varsity Network app, riceowls.com, the Owls Game Day app as well, and go to syncmygame.com if you'd like to match up those pictures with my words. Joined now by a 6-year head coach of our Rice Owls, Scott Pera. Coach,
JP,
how are we?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great to be back here. I'm glad you got to handle those two young guys' names right out of the gate. But no, exciting show. Another, exciting week behind us and one to look forward to. And, it's just amazing how fast it goes, halfway through the league season, 21 games down. Crazy. I tell these guys not to blink, it goes fast. And, these guys, we can talk about that with some of the freshmen here earlier about how they're feeling at this time of the year, but it goes quick.
Yeah, and having those Thursday, Saturday games, it seems to really bring that on as well. But discuss that Thursday game first. You beat Charlotte. Quincy Oliveri has 26 points, 10 rebounds. A lot of things right in that one. You matched the best start since the 03-04 NIT team for the best start through those 20 games. So 19 years since you had a great start like that. So discuss that win and what you liked about it and what went into that one.
Yeah, I'd like to spend as much time on that one as we can based on what happened on Saturday. No, look, it was a great win. Charlotte is a very good team, and I've talked about this with you on and off the air before. I have a great relationship with Coach Sanchez there at Charlotte. We go back a long time. So when he was an assistant in the Pac-10, I was still a high school coach, and he was up at Washington State with Tony Bennett. And then when I got in the Pac-10, obviously got to coach against him a little bit before they went to Virginia. And then I was really excited for him when he got the Charlotte job because he's certainly deserving. He's done a great job there to beat those guys. Was a big win for us, and didn't lack in excitement either.
Yeah, one of the first things you said to me when we talked after that exciting one is, I don't remember how many games it was, and it turns out it was like 7 of your last 8 conference games before that UAB game came down to either overtime or like a 3-point game. And then, we get so focused on our stuff. When I was prepping for Charlotte, too, they had so many close games.
Yeah, they did.
Just the way this close and that game really played out, both teams coming together with a close game.
Yeah, I mean, they were down 3 with an underneath out of bounds play with about 16 seconds left to go. And, they inbounded it to their really talented big man. And I don't think they had the original look that they wanted. And he kind of stepped back and looked around and drained a 3 to tie it, which, was a little surprising that he took it. He was more than capable of making those kind of shots, but not corner ones. I haven't seen him shoot too many of those. So big shot by him. And then our guys responded to make sure, like we always try and do at the end, Travis or Quincy deciding the games. And Quincy had the ball. The guy hit him on the arm. We got the foul call. He knocked down a couple free throws. And then they set up a last-second play to try and throw it down the court. And Max kind of read it, knew what they were trying to do, and jumped it like a free safety, a 6'10" free safety, and got to the deflection. I believe Makai came up with the ball and the steal, and a great win for us.
How about Quincy Oliveri has 26 points, 10 rebounds in that Thursday game. And I just did the quick arithmetic. I might be off a point or two, but he had 44 points in the 2 games, and 34 of those 44 came in the second half. It's not by plan, obviously, but the way he can dial it up now, it's showing a different level of scoring ability.
Well, yeah, look, I think, you play these games and these teams, and they're going into the games to stop Quincy. And so that initial game plan is there, and so he may not get some looks early in the game. The key has been that he has learned from that little struggle he had to not force it, to trust his teammates, to get in the flow of the game. And then as the game goes on, game plans get harder to remember, guys get open looks, he asserts himself more, and I think that's kind of why you're seeing it go that way.
Makai liked his trip here last week so much. He came back for another one so we can talk about him in person. He had 15 points in that Thursday game and in that Saturday game against UAB. So talk about him in that Thursday game as well.
No, it continues to contribute at a high level to our team and our wins. And we've relied on him, a lot, not just as a guy to produce when asked on offense, but also he's been guarding a lot of really good players defensively. And, that's a credit to his versatility. It's something that I thought he could do coming in, and it's really going to help him down the road. And I think that the 2 young guys that are here with him tonight both have a chance to be good defensive players as well. So there's going to be a time here in this near future where all 3 of these guys will be on the court together. We're going to have some length, some size, and some really good defensive players. So that's exciting.
In Saturday, UAB wins 70-52. It was an odd start because we're used to so much scoring, not with only your pace, but UAB can put it in the hole as well. How tough was it to get used to a flow of that game and that start? And they were missing Jelly Walker, so that was another weird dynamic in there. You didn't know what to expect from them.
Yeah, I still haven't got used to it.
Sorry.
No, it was a very strange game. UAB, they were down, he's been down 4 or 5 games. And it's weird because they play without a great player, but they have a lot of really good players. So now some of those really good players that are only taking 4 or 5 shots a game get to take 9, 10, 11 shots a game, and they get to show really how good they are. And, like a guy like Buffett, I believe, had 20 and 10, right? He's a really good player. He doesn't always get his opportunities when Jelly plays. So it doesn't mean they're better or worse with or without him. They're just different. They also were, I thought very energized, but, we missed some open ones. We had 4. I watched the tape, and we had 4 possessions in a row right out of the gate where we had very easy, makeable shots that we normally make. If you make 2 or 3 of those, the start of the game is different. The energy is a little different. We just couldn't get going. And look, that's a lot of credit goes to them too. They did a great job and played better and deserved to win, but we just couldn't get out of the quicksand.
Second half, Cam had a strong burst, and like I mentioned, Quincy and Travis got going too, but just couldn't get over that 15-point mark, and credit to them and their defense.
Yeah, and I think we had like 3 or 4 possessions in a row to cut it to 12. I remember some looks we had. I remember we ran a play. I think it was spread, and they went under on Makai, and he had an open look that he normally makes. Quincy had 2 open looks, I think, on the same possession, missed them both. Trav missed one. Max missed a layup. We just couldn't get it to 12 or 11. We couldn't, and I was really pleased and love the environment and the crowd that we've been getting now. And we couldn't even get them like really, really going and involved because we couldn't quite crack it close enough to get everybody fired up. But, look, that one's behind us. And I told the team that right away after the game. I didn't harp on it. Hopefully it was just an outlier to who we've been. We were really, really good and sharp in practice today. So we're excited to get back out on Thursday night.
All right, we're just getting started with Coach. More coming up here in just a bit. Stay tuned coming up here at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. More of the Scott Pera Show here from Learfield.
DoubleTree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the medical center, the museum district, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the medical center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the DoubleTree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you need a group rate or 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great. When your next construction project needs to be on time and on budget, it's time to hire IBEW electricians. Learn more at IBEW716.net.
Houston, we have a cocktail. All Hands Canned Cocktails are made with 6 times distilled craft vodka at a sturdy 10% ABV to ensure you never have to sacrifice the quality of your provisions. Now available in 6 natural flavors, including raspberry lemonade, ruby red grapefruit, cherry limeade, cranberry and vodka soda, and vodka tonic classics. Follow the adventure on Instagram at @DrinkAllHands and try these bar-strength cocktails for yourself at the next game. All Hands, damn fine cocktails. Proud sponsor of Rice Athletics.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott Pera Show. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back here to the Scott Pera Show, live at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. Hey, everybody's chugging the queso and the fajitas there. By the way, Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, serving made-from-scratch recipes, jumbo margaritas, weekend brunch featuring penny mimosas. Come early for the best happy hour in town, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are here every Monday night, 7 until about 8 here at the Scott Pera Show. Coach, we're coming in hot on the video stream, by the way. We're on Al's Facebook and YouTube, too. And that little meter tells me Hershey, Pennsylvania, ringing in strong here.
There you go. I thought maybe a few of the folks back in Hershey, if they were bored tonight, may get to watch the show. I told them they could watch it live. It only took me 3 weeks to figure that out and get that link to them. So it's great to see those folks and have them on. It's incredible. It's amazing the support we get from all over the country. It's like, we could spend a show sometime, a segment even on the texts I get from the people I get them from that you just don't realize the reaches that it goes and how many people are actually following us. It makes me obviously very happy, proud between the ex-players and just kind of the places I've lived. And, obviously Hershey's home and having the support I get from there just means so much. I still talk to a lot of those guys, all the time.
In the roots there, but also such a formidable part of your career in Los Angeles, like we talked about way before these shows started. You were giving us the sightseeing tour down, I guess, Marina Del Rey.
Marina Del Rey,
and where we had a dinner one night. So just having that base here and now such strong roots here in our great state of Texas, it has to mean a lot, covering a lot of our
9 years. The recruiting here has been great for me because not only you have Rice and the brand, right, which you can recruit nationally, but I've also lived all over the country, between LA, Phoenix, and Philly, and that you have all those connections for all those years. And so it's just been really fun to reconnect with so many people, whether it's through recruiting or just through, them following us. And, it goes back to even, I think somebody might be watching in Arkansas tonight. A few years ago, I have an ex-player that lives there, and I know him and his son have become big Rice fans because they sat behind our bench the night. It was a long night that night. That night we opened up Musselman's career at Arkansas. But since then, he's come out and worked. Attended my camp with his dad, and they follow us, and so it's just really neat. All the different people and places. It means a lot to me. I know that.
How about this stat? Tim gave me before the last game that after that Charlotte win, you matched the 03-04 NIT team for the best start through the in that time span, 20 games. I guess it was 15-5. That was the best start in 19 years. Another simple way to say it. What I know that doesn't mean anything right now, but it means something. Looking at what you accomplished so far, what does that mean to you and the staff?
Well, look, it certainly means something in the off season, and as we continue to up our recruiting and enter the new league. I think we've done a bunch of things now in terms of, breaking down some barriers, doing some things that haven't been done in a long time. Like I saw one, I think, that somebody used somewhere that it's 5 straight years of 13 or more wins. And that's been done twice in the 109 years of the program, like once in the 40s and once in the early 90s. So we're building it, and again, sustainable has been the word. Hopefully we finish strong this year, but regardless of what, we know we have a good team. The program's in a great place. We got a great group of guys coming back. The 3 kids sitting here tonight are going to be, part of the cornerstone foundation of this thing moving forward. So it's just, it's great when you do things like that. It really is.
All right. I saw Twitter late Saturday night, Trey Murphy, yes, 3-point marksman, added to the dunk contest. Boy, so any inside info, our former Owl?
Well, I know he wanted to get in it, and I know he's excited about it. And I'm excited for him. He's having a good year. The Pelicans, unfortunately, have fallen on some hard times here. I think they've lost 7 in a row, but they're just so injury plagued. I mean, after the All-Star break, they get Brandon and Zion and can put them back with CJ and Trey and all the weapons they have there. They're going to be a force in the playoffs. They just got to weather this storm. But what a fun night that's going to be, All-Star weekend. I know we're playing that night against Western Kentucky. And so I know we have to get the recorders out and get that on, and then check Twitter after the game to see how creative he got and what he did.
All right, Coach. Extremely off the subject, but I was joking with you in the break, so I thought I'd bring it up here. I think I broke my toe Saturday morning. It's your pinky toe, so it doesn't really matter. But I was wondering, in your sporting career, and have you ever? I guess going back, most kids have broken bones, but did you break a bone or have an injury like that growing up?
Fortunately, I've had very few. So I'm going to knock on wood there. But so I was going into my junior year in high school. I had played JVs as a sophomore. I had not grown yet. I was still physically behind a lot of the guys, and I was fighting. But then going into my junior year, we had a really good team, and I was started to develop, and I was fighting for a starting position as the point guard. And in the preseason, our starting center, I shot faked him in an open gym, and he landed. He's 6'4", big kid, landed on my big toe and broke my big toe, and was a little setback. But didn't hinder me. I still got to make the tryouts, become the starting point guard on a team that ended up being pretty good. But that one hurt. I remember that one distinctly.
Yeah, I'd rather have my little toe hurt than that big one. That throws everything off.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't very quick or athletic as it was, so that just slowed me down a little bit more.
All right, stay tuned. Coming up next, more of the Owls. We'll have Andrew Akuche coming up here next, and then Big Iffy also coming up here to the high table under the spotlight, talking with Coach P as well. He'll hang up here with us. Back with more of the Scott Pera Show here from Valencia's. This is Rice Basketball from Learfield.
Come experience the Scott Pera Show live at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage every Monday at 7 o'clock at the new Greenway location. Enjoy made-from-scratch recipes, giant margaritas, and weekend brunch featuring penny mimosas. Come by for happy hour Monday through Friday, and be sure to sign up for Valencia's Rewards to earn $5 for every $50 spent. Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, from the original family behind Cyclone Anias, and home of the Scott Pera Show.
The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Excellent training, fantastic benefits in retirement, and 0 student loan debt. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
DoubleTree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the Medical Center, the Museum District, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the Medical Center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the DoubleTree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you need a group rate or 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
Houston, we have a cocktail. All Hands Canned Cocktails are made with 6 times distilled craft vodka at a sturdy 10% ABV to ensure you never have to sacrifice the quality of your provisions. Now available in 6 natural flavors, including raspberry lemonade, ruby red grapefruit, cherry limeade, cranberry and vodka soda, and vodka tonic classic. Follow the adventure on Instagram at @DrinkAllHands and try these bar-strength cocktails for yourself at the next game. All Hands, damn fine cocktails. Proud sponsor of Rice Athletics.
Howdy Homemade Ice Cream is here. Howdy is an ice cream shop in Katy, Texas that makes ice cream in-house and has a unique mission to employ individuals that are differently abled. Stop by and enjoy some ice cream. With every scoop you buy, you help support employment for special needs. Coming to Rice Athletics venues in the fall.
Live from Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, this is the Scott Pera Show.
Yes. Welcome back here at the Scott Pera Show, Monday night, 7 until 8 p.m. Good hearty crowd here tonight. Good to see the Georges here. Miss George came up and said, I'm coming out there, and good to see them. I reference y'all on the broadcast every now and then. I don't know if that's gotten back to y'all, but I say when they come near y'all every time somebody saves a ball. But good to see y'all back here. Joined now by Andrew Akuche here. Did I get it right?
Yes.
There you go. It's only taken me half the season, I guess. Joking with him by a junior. I'll get his name right. Stay tuned. We have Big Iffy coming up, and then video coordinator Colin Neal. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Outstanding. Thanks for coming. Nerves next to Coach here. You good?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. You seem like a pretty confident guy.
Practice is worse. This is easy.
Yeah. So tell us about, like Makai said last week, and he was pretty honest about the adjustment to the college game. What's it been like for you? Obviously, the great high school accolades and a great player. I remember meeting you before you even started here, but just what's that adjustment here to college life, the books, and on the court too been like for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment. On the court, it's just a lot faster, much more physical too, and the guys are much stronger as well. And then just in the books, it's kind of similar to high school. Teachers are very supportive and all that. So
yeah.
So Andrew has a kind of unique part of him and Quincy have something in common in that both of those guys were kind of discovered at our elite camp. Quincy's jealous and mad though, right, Andrew? Why is Quincy jealous and mad about the story?
Quincy's mad because he didn't get an offer at the elite camp and I did.
So when Quincy attended it, he had a good camp.
And for those that don't know, elite during the summer.
We invite and or people just sign up. Either way, they don't have to be all invited. People that, but especially we're recruiting him, and we haven't seen a lot of them yet. Like in his case, that he came and then you get to spend a whole day, like 6 hours, kind of coaching them, watching them play games, and you really get a feel for who they are as players. And then also I can talk to them and get to know them as kids too. It's like a free recruiting day. So it was really awesome that he came from Florida to do that. And Quincy came from Atlanta to do it. And, Quincy, as he tells the story, of course, he was the best kid at the camp.
Obviously.
And I didn't offer him. So he was mad because he loved Rice. And it ended up obviously working out. But when Andrew came, he had a very good day as well. And, I would say, Andrew, tell me, I think, what have you grown since then? A couple inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what were you when you came to the camp?
I think like 6'7".
Yeah, I think so too. What are you, 6'10" now? So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, think about, so at 6'7", I was, happy to have him. And, as he kept growing, it was even better, and so that's it's kind of a cool, unique story.
What do you remember from Coach and the guys then?
I remember Quincy because Quincy was my coach actually. So I remember that.
I'm sorry.
Goodness.
Yeah. I just remember Quincy's, his big personality the entire time.
Yeah. He hasn't really let off that, has he?
Were you? Let me ask you. Did you think you played well enough that day to get an offer? Did you think you were going to get an offer? Just give me your perspective on all that.
I thought I played okay. I didn't think it was like anything like amazing or anything like that. So I don't really think I was, to be honest.
So Quincy thought he played great and didn't get an offer. Andrew didn't think he played that great and did get one. Just goes to show you how hard it is, and but their perspective of it as well.
Coach obviously knows this a lot more than me, and obviously I've called a lot of your games. But describe your game. Like, do you have any influences? You think of a style, or still growing, obviously, to add an extra inch onto the roster I have here, but just kind of describe your game.
Definitely still growing, but I would just say very versatile. Try to do a lot of stuff. Try to have an inside game and an outside game. So like score in the post, but also be able to, pick and pop and pick and roll and do all that.
So one of the things, he's right, and I think he hit the nail on the head. Those are all the things we want him to do, and he's been working on and gotten really better at. And he's going to continue to become more versatile the more he continues to develop. Because the one thing about both these guys and Makai, these young guys are workers, and guys that work this hard and can keep in perspective as freshmen, when they're not playing as much as he wants to play, and understand where this is all going to go. That's just a credit to both he and Iffy. And look, there's still 10 plus, hopefully 12, 13, 14 games left in this year. I think both of them can impact what we're doing as well. So it's fun to watch them grow.
So you come from a very athletic family. Your one brother plays football at Towson, and another brother plays basketball at Youngstown, right? Mm-hmm. So, my gosh, I mean, how cool is that? Just a family of athletes there. Did you ever think about playing football, or you just outgrow that? Or
I never really thought about playing it because I've always been like the tallest, so it was always just basketball.
Yeah, that's the only sport you ever played? You ever run track or anything?
I did like soccer when I was little. Did like t-ball, and I did like flag football for a little.
Nice.
And you're a roommate with Iffy. So what I always tell this, I do this most shows we have teammates on. Give us something about Iffy that we might not know. But the caveat is he's got return fire on you. So being roommates with the big fella, tell us something about him we might not know.
He's very quiet in the room. He likes to stay in the room a lot. That's right.
He's quiet? Well, I don't know about that. Does he get all out in the locker room? I don't know. Or on the court? He doesn't say much, huh?
Just a lot of Netflix games, stuff like that. Mm. You went easy on it, though. Okay, so all right.
You go first. He got the last shot. Now you
tell us from your perspective the rest of the season, what you guys need to do and what you focused on. Obviously, a tough stretch of the schedule continuing here. What do you guys need to continue doing better, but also improve on too?
I would just say, especially after games like UAB, just not focus on games like that. Just move on to the next right away, and don't ponder on the game too much, and don't let it affect the next game and how we practice and prepare for the next game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said earlier, I think the guys they came out today with that approach, and look, these young guys, they have great guys to look up to. Like him and Iffy are around Max all the time because that's their, obviously a skill position group. Even though he can step out and shoot threes, they spend a lot of time and they get to see, what it's like to be a successful college big guy and what the work and the voice it takes, and those guys are like sponges. And so, I'm happy to have them as young guys. I look forward to today. They're dominating the paint and him knocking down threes as well. So there's a bright future for him for sure.
Favorite player or two growing up?
Growing up, probably Kevin Durant, and then
there you go.
Yeah, Giannis too. He's up there.
That fits. a lofty guy not that you're comparing yourself to them, but so it kind of fits your mold.
So Nets Bucks each in conference final. Who do you root for?
I would probably go for Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Sixers is.
I gotta hope my Sixers take them out. Yeah. So.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And you can't wait to see the rest of the season and beyond. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Andrew Akuche joining us here on the high table here. Al's freshman big man. Stay tuned. Big Iffy coming up next here. Back with more of the Scott Pera Show at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage from Learfield.
DoubleTree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the Medical Center, the Museum District, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the Medical Center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the DoubleTree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you need a group rate or 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Come experience the Scott Pera Show, live at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage every Monday at 7 o'clock at the new Greenway location. Enjoy made-from-scratch recipes, giant margaritas, and weekend brunch featuring penny mimosas. Come by for happy hour Monday through Friday, and be sure to sign up for Valencia's Rewards to earn $5 for every $50 spent. Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, from the original family behind Cyclone Anias, and home of the Scott Pera Show.
A college basketball podcast for fans, by fans. Hey, this is Stephen Hartzell, host of College Sports Now. Join us throughout the season when we talk hoops with some of the biggest names in the game. Coaches, writers, players. We'll go coast to coast. We'll give you some of the best college basketball content as only we can on CSN. Follow along on Twitter at CS Now Tweets. And don't forget, you can subscribe to College Sports Now wherever you get your podcasts.
You've been listening to The Scott Pera Show. Now let's rejoin JP Heath.
We are back as we are every Monday night here at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. Another good Rice Owls contingent here. Stay tuned. Next segment, we have Owls first-year video coordinator Colin Neal. He can still ball. He'll be talking to us next segment, and Coach and I will preview La Tech in North Texas. But right now, we are joined by Owls freshman big man Ifeanyi Ufo-Chukwu, a.k.a. Iffy.
Yes.
That's what I was told. Just call him Iffy.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Answers that. Right. See, that's what I tell folks. But before the game, other broadcasters say, how do you say his name? And I'm nailing. I've had that practice. So what's it like being here and getting, like I asked Andrew, getting adjusted to the college game? And tell us a little bit about your backstory, as you were briefing me on more during the break, coming from Nigeria to North Carolina a few years ago.
Coming from North Carolina to Charlotte, it was a completely different experience, because whereas Nigeria is usually a warm weather place, coming to North Carolina, the experience it was super cold, and I've never experienced anything that cold before. It was also a huge culture shock, and the food was different, so everything was completely different. But I had people to help me navigate through that, so it was it was just kind of easy to adjust, I guess.
How was it, the language barrier?
Well,
were you?
Well, I was fluent in English before
You were fluent
coming.
when you came.
Maybe with a little thicker accent,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah,
More time you spend, right?
yeah, more time I spent around people. It was just kind of easy.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Coming to Rice, what's obviously a very, very diverse student population. We pride ourselves on so many different walks of life and cultures. What's that been like, coming to big old Houston, Texas here from your days in North Carolina, but also Nigeria? It's been quite a path.
Well, I think for me personally, I think it's been easy, because I've been to Texas multiple times before coming to Houston. I've been to Dallas specifically, but I've always loved the warm weather. So I thought it was good for me to be here, and obviously this huge international population here at Rice, it was kind of easy to see people from all different places around the country and the world. So it was for me to fit right in.
So, recruiting stories are always good, right? These are always fun to tell. Each of their stories, they're so unique, and how they end up here and how we recruit and all this stuff. So Iffy, we were recruiting, and he ended up committing to another school, and then he decommitted from that school. And so after he decommitted, we got on the phone right away and said, hey, would you still be interested in Rice? And thankfully, he said, yeah, very, very interested. And then he came, and your sister came on the visit, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep. They came to visit, and then obviously, the rest is history. He committed to us, signed with us, and we couldn't be happier. But it was it wasn't one of those, you recruited an early signing period and all that other stuff. It was a kind of a roundabout way to get him here.
Did you play basketball a long time, obviously in Nigeria, before coming over?
No, not for a long time. Probably a couple years before coming over. But yeah, it's been good so far.
What did you play other than basketball?
I used to play a lot of soccer. I thought I was gonna play soccer, of course. Yeah, but then I started to grow taller. And my sister was already playing basketball at the time, so she just kind of was like, try this. So before I knew, I started going to the basketball court like every day. So.
And what was the accessibility like? Was it? I mean, could you play a lot? Could you was there coaching there? What does that look like?
Well, the coaching obviously wasn't really like he was just like we would watch the things that we see on YouTube,
NBA
and stuff like that. And
NBA
and mostly NBA. I never really watched college basketball before playing before coming over.
Okay,
but. Yeah, we would just watch mostly like highlights, or if we try to watch a game and do the things that we see on TV.
Who did you follow? Like, who did you like?
Well, first I used to watch Steph Curry because I thought I was going to be a guard, but obviously not.
He tells me all the time he's a shooter.
But then that changed. I started watching more like Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis and all that big guys. So I could model my game after them, I guess.
Where do you think you've grown the most? The backstory, I guess, to that is when I was talking to the coach, like, hey, getting to know the new guys, they're telling me defense about you. Is that something that comes naturally? And where do you think you've evolved in the last year and even since like stepping foot on campus here?
Well, I've been told multiple times that my defensive game is ahead of my offensive game, which I think is true to an extent because like I feel like I'm more impactful on the defensive end. But like my offensive game is still on the rise. I could see that like it's gotten so much better since I've been on campus in the summer, and obviously now moving towards the end of the season. So yeah,
he's absolutely right. He has really grown offensively, and he's gotten better defensively. And he missed part of the summer too, so he wasn't even here the whole summer with the rest of the guys. 6 weeks?
I was.
So he was kind of 6 weeks behind a lot of these guys. That so his development has been really, really fun to watch. And for the fans out there and the people that say, well, we haven't seen it yet, but we see it every day. And that's why I made the point when Andrew was up here. There's a lot of season left here. And these two guys really keep forcing my hand to find ways to get them on the court to help us win, because I believe both of them can. And I believe by the end of the season, both of them will.
All right. So I asked Andrew about you, and he was very nice. Kind of return fire on your roommate. Does he kind of leave stuff like around the bathroom? Is he throwing his laundry on the floor? Like what kind of roomie is he?
Andrew's pretty good. We don't. I would say he's more talkative at the room. So yeah, but other than that, he's good.
You got nothing on him?
I got nothing on him, Coach.
Okay, all right. You guys are too
with the mutual destruction here. They don't want to take each other down.
But I won't bring out what I know then. I'll just keep to myself.
Well, I will, because I've been waiting to try to tell this story for quite a while, and I got permission from the boss man first. Andrew's smiling. He probably in the kind knows where I'm going. So, Coach, would you ever be within a few feet of Iffy in a water bottle as long as he plays here?
So I can tell you this. No matter what happens the rest of our lives, I will never forget Iffy.
I don't know if many people know this story.
Well, I don't think so. As the story goes, we were on the plane to Western
Kentucky.
We were playing to Western Kentucky. I was sitting in my seat on the aisle, happy,
minding your own business.
Minding my own business, happy. The players are going by, saying, "Hey, what's up?" Fist bump, whatever. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I felt something heavy hit me on the top of the head. And I didn't know what it was. I just felt this thing out of the blue hit me in the top of the head. I thought it was somebody's bag. I didn't know what it was, and it kind of jarred me. And I went down, and Quincy and Mason were there, right? They were the closest to, and they were kind of like, "What's wrong with Coach?" Like, what, because they saw what it was. They saw what happened. And then next thing I knew, I checked, and my head was bleeding because if he had a full water bottle in his bag, and it fell out of his bag, and the top plastic hit the full water bottle, hit me right on the top of the head. And cut my top of my head open. The good news is that I was worried that if I didn't know how big the cut was. I just knew I was bleeding. If they were going to say I needed stitches, they were going to take me off the plane, and that was going to be a major problem. So I wasn't going off the plane as we were going to Western Kentucky. And then I was worried about the whole plane being upset that I was holding the plane up, because now they said they had to do some procedure, right? Bring EMTs on to make sure.
They paged it. Are there any medical personnel?
So we had to go through all that. But fortunately, there was some sort of maintenance issue with the plane, right, Iffy?
Yes, it had to wait a couple of minutes, too, for that.
So we had to wait on the maintenance issue. Everybody wasn't mad at me. I didn't need stitches. Iffy thought I was mad at him. I wasn't. He was petrified the whole flight to Western. What did you ask Quincy?
I asked Quincy if Coach ever kicked anybody off the team before.
Well, so that part made me laugh, and I was texting him immediately to let him know that I was not mad. I was mad it happened. I wasn't mad at him, and he didn't try it. And so that's a story we'll never forget. And I know we'll be told again before graduation sometime.
Hey, you got, from my perspective, you got to admit, we're on the back of the plane. We're like, oh my gosh, we can't believe what's happening because people are checking on Coach. But then the hour and a half flight or so, because we go into Nashville.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Like, oh my gosh! Like, I guess already you told Quincy that, but I saw y'all make peace at the baggage claim after that.
First, I was scared, like super scared, And then after, after he told me that he was fine, that I shouldn't be worried, and I got like super upset, like I actually hurt someone. But then, the first thing that came to my mind was like my heart like nearly came out of my chest because like I was like super scared, and I was like, oh my god.
And I'm sure Quincy wasn't sympathetic to you.
No,
right?
he was making it worse.
Exactly.
He was making it worse. He was like, oh yeah, you're done.
I had to yell at him to leave you alone.
Yeah. It wasn't really helping. So.
Yeah, however long I do this job, I'll never forget that story and y'all's retelling of it. But
it's funny now, and we got the road. Got the good road sweep, right? Yeah. Right, Iffy? Yep. So what ends well, it all ends well. What is the saying? Yep. All's well that ends well, right?
Hey, Iffy, thanks a lot. You're great. Appreciate it. Iffy joining us here at the high table. Wonderful job. Stay tuned. We talk some ball with the baller himself. Colin Neal, Al's new video coordinator, joins us here back at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage with the Scott Pera Show from Learfield.
Howdy Homemade Ice Cream is here. Howdy is an ice cream shop in Katy, Texas that makes ice cream in-house and has a unique mission to employ individuals that are differently abled. Stop by and enjoy some ice cream. With every scoop you buy, you help support employment for special needs. Coming to Rice Athletics venues in the fall.
Come experience the Scott Pera Show, live at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage every Monday at 7 o'clock at the new Greenway location. Enjoy made-from-scratch recipes, giant margaritas, and weekend brunch featuring penny mimosas. Come by for happy hour Monday through Friday, and be sure to sign up for Valencia's Rewards to earn $5 for every $50 spent. Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, from the original family behind Cyclone Anias, and home of the Scott Pera Show.
Hey, it's JP here to tell you that, yes, there's more Rice Owls content out there for you to consume. Subscribe and download the official podcast of Rice Athletics, Rice Owls Insider. Rice Owls Insider provides a unique new look at a variety of head coaches, players, and other integral voices inside the Rice Athletics department. Plus, you can find archived coaches shows as well. For the best in Rice Owls content, subscribe to Rice Owls Insider, the official podcast of Rice Athletics. Available on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with life-altering diagnoses. Team Impact pairs these kids with college athletic teams as part of a 2-year program, getting them off the sideline and into the game. The collegiate student-athletes gain a new teammate, a new friend, and a new perspective. For more information, visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Welcome back to the Scott Pera Show. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back here every Monday night. It is the Scott Pera Show at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. They just, like a 10-foot cake, was just a piece of cake. A tres leches, right? That's good.
I might stay around after and get one of those. Have you had that yet, JP?
I have not.
You might lead scout on all this stuff now.
It's going on the list there.
All right.
Done with tonight.
What did you have tonight, by the way?
I had fajitas, by the way. Thanks for asking, Coach. Had the queso, highly recommended. But,
did you chug the queso? You talk about people chugging the queso.
I did. I'm a Texas guy. My Wi-Fi password at home, I won't give, or the name of it is Queso Forever. So I love my queso, and this definitely passes the test. But joined now by first-year video coordinator of our Rice House, Colin Neal. Colin, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, New Mexico guy. You're kind of grub, right? Queso.
I can eat this all day.
I love y'all's. I mean, I guess we'll talk about this. You've been a lot of places, but got the green and the red enchiladas, right? I mean, did you have a favorite Mexican food?
I was a red guy. I actually miss New Mexican food. I tell everybody it's the best food in the United States. I swear by it.
Yeah, and we were out at your place. Tim educated me, and we went to a couple because we played there twice, I guess. Once when you were there, once without. Man, y'all have some good food.
Oh, it's great.
There, too.
It's great. It's one of a kind for sure.
So I asked the players this, and you're segueing into a different chapter of your life, kind of getting into on the coaching side, continuing on the video coordinator position technically. Just what's this been like for you? Just getting used to this new position, but academic guy like yourself fitting in at a great place like this. It seems to fit you pretty well. Huh?
No, it's getting used to a new head coach.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Coach Pera has been very, very welcoming, very teaching me everything I need to know. The assistants, Van and Greg, were also very helpful, and even Russ, who was also new, has been very helpful throughout the process. But yeah, I'm just thankful to help and do anything that I can to help the team.
So just like recruiting stories, hiring stories are very interesting. And I've known Cullen, man, I guess before your senior year in high school.
Junior year.
So because when I was at Arizona State, we brought him out on a visit. We were recruiting him. So I've known him a long time, and I've known his dad even longer. And so, when these positions open, they're very much in demand. And there's a lot of young, talented guys that want to get in the business. And for me, it's big, if you have some sort of, when you're doing interviews or of interest of people that you know and trust, right? And I knew his dad and knew his dad was a terrific coach and became a friend of mine. And then when he told, when Cullen, kind of handled it on his own without his dad, which I thought was great too and a great way to do it. But it made it, once we got down to it, it made it pretty easy and clear for me to hire him on. He's got a really good offensive mind. He helps Russ and I, a lot with the offense. And I know he loves, and he can talk about this too, but also the relationship with the players and, being a guy that had, played not too long ago and that aspect as well.
No, definitely. Like Coach said, it's great because he's an offensive guy. So it's just a start, and I love offense. And that's what my dad did. That's what I've always wanted to do. So just to learn from him, hopefully one day I'll be able to take the stuff that he uses and use it for myself. But, I've been very, very fortunate. When this position opened, I knew I had to try to get a hold of Coach Pera ASAP because I knew he'd be someone I wanted to work for, and I've been very grateful for it.
So let's rewind about 6 years. Your path crossed with Rice, and one of the crazier games I've ever called. If I was doing my proper prep, I would have gone in the archives and got a Colin Neal call when you're playing for the Lobos there. So you played against Rice. That would have been December of 15, right?
I remember my last year as the assistant with Mike. Yep.
So Mike's last year. Yep. And your last year in that position, but you scored 16 points. And you reminded me, I've forgotten this, but you had fouled out early in that game. It's only one game.
Yeah, hold on. The only reason I reminded him is the only reason we won is because he fouled out.
Yeah,
is because he fouled out.
We'll take both of y'all. Take first you, Colin. Like, what do you remember anything? Because I ask players all the time. I don't remember that game, but you being younger, you remember that game?
The one thing I do remember is Igor Kulichov.
Yeah,
he had 32 points. He didn't miss a shot. The
free throws late,
and then he hit the 2 free throws late. Which, long story short, my teammate at the end of the game called a timeout that we didn't have with a tie ball game with no time remaining. So all we had to do was sit on the bench and watch Rice shoot 2 free throws while we couldn't do anything about it. And Igor, being who he is, sunk him.
It was a great win. And it was one that we didn't think we were going to get. I honestly, I think he, I'd have to look back, and I'm thinking he fouled out with over 5 minutes left in the game. And I think the lead was probably 13. It was double digits. It was almost insurmountable, but they did not have a lot of ball handlers with him not on the floor. And we pressed him, and it caused some turnovers, and we got some momentum. And then once you get it to like 5, things start getting even a little, everything gets a little tighter because New Mexico is not supposed to lose to Rice. And, and it's one of those things where they paid us to come play him. And now we're getting out of the wire. And then that crazy ending. And I've been a part of a lot of games. I was in New Orleans at the game when Weber called timeout against Carolina. It's the first Final Four game I ever attended.
91, 92.
Yeah, whatever year it was.
That's awesome.
And then that happening on ice coaching, the only other time I've ever seen it. And so we have that connection, and we like to make fun of him a little bit on that one. But fortunately, like, he didn't blow the game. He just fouled out. But indirectly, I guess he blew it.
Yeah.
16 points, though. Still a good game.
Yeah.
So
he would have 30. That's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm glad he fouled out.
you're going to be modest here, but you've got such a great basketball past. And with your dad, Craig, being a coach, and now he's on the Nevada staff, was it in that, like, did you think, and you played overseas and did really well there too, did you always kind of know, okay, when I'm done playing, I'm going to coach? I didn't assume that about you with your dad being such a well-known coach. Or you're like, hey, I might, because, I mean, you're Mountain West Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year. You obviously got a noggin. Like, when did you kind of decide, hey, I'm going to choose this path?
No, I always wanted to coach. I always wanted to know, like, because I was in that position, I always wanted to be able to help guys like me be able to do this in the best possible way. So it was always my goal to help the kids and try to make them better and try to help them do it in the best possible way. So, yeah, and I was fortunate enough to watch my dad do it many years, and just throughout that process, I fell in love with the game, fell in love with college basketball, because my dad did do the NBA and college. So college basketball just really struck me as something that was great.
Van obviously went to Columbia and got his master's at Rice. Well, Cullen's the only other one on the staff that actually could have gone into Rice also. Although I shouldn't say it, maybe Coach Pennell could have, but those transcripts are so old, I don't think you could even figure them out now. So I don't know if that would be able to tell if you could or not. But he's really, really, really good student. Really good student.
Rest of us modest state school guys, right?
I wasn't getting in, JP.
So you played and coached, or with your dad coaching in so many different spots, but most of your formative years, like, you'd call New Mexico home now, because, like, I think I remember you telling me on the bus one day about your dad's NBA stops. Just kind of map it, like, not every year by year, but how is that?
So my dad was a scout for the Raptors. We'll start with that, and then he was fortunate enough to find Tracy McGrady when he was in high school, which helped him get the assistant job with Toronto. So then we moved to Toronto, and then after the Raptors, he took the associate head coaching job at Iowa, and then from Iowa was New Mexico, which, fortunate enough, I was there for 10 plus years. I went to middle school, high school, and then played college there. And then then I played at Ole Miss, and then I went to St. Mary's and played, and then I played in Poland, then Germany, and then I got married, and we were about to have a kid, so I decided it was time to get into coaching.
There you go.
Yeah.
I won't quiz you on that later.
I think I could follow, because I tweeted on the notes.
Yeah. How many years were you in Iowa?
I was in Iowa. I think it was they had 3 seasons, so 3, maybe 4 years.
You were like first, second, third grade?
Oh, yeah. I think all the way up till 6th grade.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, so 3rd through 6th grade.
Old enough to remember.
Yeah, old enough to remember. Yeah.
So kind of like I asked Iffy there, like, you've been around so many different people and so many different places, and you had that academic, and you could ball, you still can. How has that been assimilating to your new role here at such obviously a strong academic institution?
No, it's great. I've always put academics at the very high top of my priority list. I thought it was really important, and it did help me with my recruitment and help me with what I was able to do. So it's great to be able to see that at Rice and be able to translate that into my work with college basketball.
Coach, what do you think about Colin, what he adds to the staff? Obviously, we know his duties on the video coordinator side of things, but having an ex-player like that.
Look, it's good because I love ex-players that want to get into coaching, and I love guys that really dig deep into the X's and O's part of it, and you can tell that he's been around people like his dad and Coach Alford and even Coach Kennedy, who played for Ole Miss, and Coach Bennett at St. Mary's, just some unbelievable coaches. And he took a lot from each of them. And so, as much as he is learning our system, he also sees things that can fit into what we do and makes timely suggestions to that, to me or Russ, which helps as well. And now that, look, we're 21 games into this year, so now in the games, he's also getting more comfortable and making a suggestion. Maybe he sees something that might work based on just how we do things. And so it's been fun. He's going to continue to grow, and it's great to have him here.
Hey, Colin, thanks a lot. Any final words?
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank
you know what you're doing. Old pro there. Thanks to Colin Neal, Al's video coordinator, joining us here. Coming up next, Coach and I will preview La Tech and North Texas back at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. More the Scott Pera Show from Learfield.
The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great. When your next construction project needs to be on time and on budget, hire the electricians that light up Rice University. Learn more at IBEW716.net.
Howdy Homemade Ice Cream is here. Howdy is an ice cream shop in Katy, Texas that makes ice cream in-house and has a unique mission to employ individuals that are differently abled. Stop by and enjoy some ice cream. With every scoop you buy, you help support employment for special needs. Coming to Rice Athletics venues in the fall.
Come experience the Scott Pera Show, live at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage every Monday at 7 o'clock at the new Greenway location. Enjoy made-from-scratch recipes, giant margaritas, and weekend brunch featuring penny mimosas. Come by for happy hour Monday through Friday, and be sure to sign up for Valencia's Rewards to earn $5 for every $50 spent. Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, from the original family behind Cyclone Anaya's, and home of the Scott Pera Show.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Live from Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage, this is the Scott Pera Show.
Yes, back here talking with Coach Pera. Those on the video stream, he is not Colin Neal. That is Coach Pera, but doing three things at once. You'll adjust there. But joined now, previewing the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and North Texas Mean Green. La Tech 12-10 on the season, 5-6 in league play. The last two games, they split last week against UAB and UTSA, one against UTSA. When you look at the film, anything different? I mean, that you opened January against them, now you open up February, and they just squeaked one out against you in overtime at our place.
Yeah, one we'd like to have back. It's one I thought we should have won that one. We got a lead on, they hung with it, they ended up tying it up. Are taking the lead late. Travis hit the incredible shot to send it to overtime, and we thought we were energized, and then they scored at will in overtime. We didn't do a very good job. I think I didn't do a great job that night at subbing and keeping our guys fresh. I thought we got tired down the stretch, especially in the overtime period. But they have a couple terrific players that have been there for a very long time. Coach Hester's doing a really good job in his first year. He's going to be a terrific coach there. And and winning on the road is hard, but we're very much looking forward to playing them again.
And seeing what Kobe Williams has developed into inside the league games, he's averaging about 20 points per game. You could see that in him. Yeah. He played early and a lot as a freshman, the way he's taken it to the next level.
He's an outstanding player. He is their, say the head of the snake. He's the guy that makes him go. He not only offensively, defensively, transition, half court, whatever they need, that kid is relentless, and I have tremendous respect for him as a player. Isaiah Crawford's the same way. Another guy's been there forever, right? And just a very, very productive college player.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Thursday night, 6 o'clock, Rice against Louisiana Tech from Ruston, ESPN+. Both those broadcasts coming up in the Owls back Saturday. Alumni night coming up, 7 o'clock Saturday night against the North Texas Mean Green. Coach, thanks a lot.
JP, great. 3 down, right?
Yeah.
Man, it moves quick.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next week, and hopefully we're talking about a couple Rice wins.
Thank you, sir.
All right. See you,
Appreciate it. Scott Pera, head coach of our Rice Owls. Thanks to everybody for coming out. Great crowd. Continuing to pack them in here at Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage. We're back here Monday as well. Thanks to Walter here, engineering, and thanks to Ashley back at the studio. Thanks to all of y'all for coming out. Thanks to Andrew Akuche joining us, and thanks to Big Iffy joining us, and Colin Neal, Al's video coordinator. Rice and Louisiana Tech coming up Thursday night. We'll have it for you here. The Varsity Network app, riceowls.com, and the Owls Game Day app. And we're doing the in booth / you so used to saying that with football, but like the press row, like inside the on YouTube and Facebook. We're going to continue this for basketball as well with my great technical know-how. Have a great rest of this night. God bless. Go Owls. Rice fight. We'll be talking to you next week here at Valencia's, and on the mic here for some Owls basketball this week. It's been the Scott Pera Show here from Valencia's Tex-Mex Garage from Learfield.